Here comes your weekly market recap, a brand new video format from us to you. We're going to do this on a weekly basis because, hey, it's so important to not only understand what happened this week, but take what we learned this week and apply it to what is to come next week. I hope you enjoy it, guys. Let's jump right into what happened today, Friday afternoon here. We'll have a look at a very positive board to show you here. All three U.S. markets back in positive territory in a big way. 2.25%, 2%, and 2.25% there for the S&P, the Dow, and the NASDAQ, snapping a 3-week losing streak for all three. The TSX here in Toronto up 1.6% to end off the week. Crude oil 4% to the upside, and crypto stocks back in positive territory as well. One thing we're going to try and do in these videos, guys, is bring in a trader to give us more insight into what happened this week, what was tradable this week, and therefore what we can take from this week and learn to make better trades next week. Joining us for the very first go-round here for your weekly recap is going to be Trader Prad is in the building, going to hang out with me to talk a little bit about what happened this week. And we'll hit on a few individual names. You can see on the board there what we'll touch on. But let's talk a little bit about a positive week, Prad. What a week it was. All three U.S. markets back to the upside. Finally, after 3 weeks in a row to the downside, we had Fed Chair Powell comes out Wednesday and Thursday, says all the right things, gives the market all the right reasons to head higher.
Yeah, this week has been absolutely a beauty. You know, 3 green days in a row. Can't complain about it, especially after how this week has been, or not, the month has been starting and the year has been starting. I can't complain about these green moves. I'm excited to see what more moves we have to the future of the market left here coming up.
All right, let's get some weekly charts here, guys, because remember, we're going to focus on what happened this week so that we can take those lessons into next week. The SPY. First of all, big green candle. Again, all these charts I'm about to show you going to be weekly charts. So impressive here. There it is. 6.6% on the week, back to the upside here for the S&P 500 after 1, 2, 3 in negative territory. I'll quickly shift over to the NASDAQ. The Qs, even better, 7.25% to the upside when all is said and done on the week. We get almost back to 300 on the Qs. Russell had a big rebalance at the end of the day on Friday. We see the Russell ending the week up 6%. Again, a nice green positive candle, retaking some key levels there for IWM. Last but not least, the Dow, everyone's favorite 30 stocks. Well, maybe not everyone's favorite 30 stocks. 5.5% for the diamonds over here. These are all ETFs, obviously, but they follow the underlying indexes. So when you have a look, Prad, at where this market came from, the COVID bottom in March of 2020, all the way to the high that ended off right at the beginning of this year, it was interesting for me to note on some of these charts, we're not even 50% of the way back if you're looking at a retracement level on any of these yet, but still nicely positive.
Yeah, I agree with that. I personally was waiting for 2020 levels to come in to retest for most of these stocks. To be honest, I'm happy that we're not all the way back to those same levels, showing us strength that buyers are still coming into the market after entering bear territories on all markets, basically. But overall, man, this has been a great move for markets for this week so far, and very excited to see what's got in store for the next week for us.
Yeah, more to come next week. Recession talk on the top of that list. Still a ton of headlines to force the market maybe in that direction. Here's one of them. The bears were out in full force to begin the week. If you remember talking about recession, we, as I mentioned, then get Fed Chair Powell coming out, lifting the market back to the upside both on Wednesday and Thursday, testifying in front of Congress. Yes, 600-point rally for the Dow when all was said and done. Tesla had a huge week. Started off on Tuesday with a 12% rally, even as Elon came out over the weekend, last weekend, and said they are going to go ahead with a 10% workforce cut. Ends the week up 13.3%. Tech stocks had a monster week. partially led by Microsoft. A positive note from a few analysts this morning on a Friday. For Microsoft, it ends the week with an 8% gain. Trader Pratt, you were all over Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft has been a great stock for me, especially on 22nd of June. I saw the pop come in off the opening drive. I focused on trying to build into a long, but more importantly, after missing the opening drive move, I'm more of your 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock trader. That's where I make most of my money from. So waiting on the 10 o'clock move, I started seeing some barriers coming in around a nice even $2.55. Eventually, that level did give up, so I started trying these trades again at a different price point. Turned out 257 was around where the barriers came in for Microsoft on 22nd of June. Kept scalping the move the whole time. It gave me a beautiful dollar range for about an hour or so. Kept scalping the dollar range, trying to hold for the better move that might come on later on in the day. And if I did get stopped out on the break of 257, I would have already scalped out enough profits over here to give me a free trade over here, which ended up being in my direction. And I was able to capitalize on this move over here. Beautiful trade coming off on Microsoft, multiple dollars in the money on the short side.
Not only did the big mega cap tech stocks rally, but we saw some of these massively beaten down stocks rebound with a huge week as well. One of those included Roblox, up monstrously at the end of the week. 34+% here for RBLX. When all is said and done, back to the upside. I'll throw up the chart here so you can see. Look at this green candle. Retook all of these highs, almost getting back towards that 40 level, but a huge monstrous week for 34%. As I said, for Roblox. Block, another one. SQ, PayPal, another one with a big 7+% day to end the day on Friday. Let's look ahead. We get a positive Michigan sentiment number out Friday morning, suggesting that for the first time, the rate at which inflation is rising might be slowing. Came out 5.3% on a year-over-year basis versus 5.5% expected. So going into next week, here's a note from JP Morgan. It was 7+% this week. JP Morgan saying, get ready because there's another 7% coming next week, possibly for stocks. Trader Pratt, what are you looking forward to next week?
I'm looking for the tech sector once again. Today we got a crazy move of almost 3% on the tech sector overall. Looking to see where Apple goes. Apple today was pretty much hanging near 145. Waiting to Apple to get back to that $150 price to see if we can get more fun out of that market. And obviously looking for Google split to come into play soon. Lots of action in the tech sector.
So when all is said and done, we finally break this losing streak. 3 weeks to the downside gets broken, guys. Positive week for the market. Pretty impressive across the board. 6+%. More to come next week. Make sure you grab our watch list every single day. We send it out before we come on live for you at 8:30. Use the link at the bottom of the screen, the QR code up there for you. Check out the morning shows coming back on Monday morning at 8:30. Trader Pratt will be there as well, live at 11 a.m. We'll see you next week on Trader TV Live.